Hey, English 111, Miss Brewer here for week 4 of our course, and it is time for you guys to start writing your literary analysis paper. So I'm going to go through Moodle, and I have quite a few resources to review with you, and I'll talk about what's due this week, and kind of go over everything that's coming up. So feel free to open up Moodle. You don't have to watch me. Just listen to what I have to say and follow along. So this week, you guys have 2 things due. You have an assignment in regard to research, and you have a journal assignment. So you'll turn in 2 different things. The journal is your attendance assignment, so make sure you get that done on time so you're marked as present for the week. And we're going to talk today about your literary analysis paper. So the first page in Moodle underneath our agenda says Literary Analysis Assignment Details. So I'm going to open that up. And this just goes over what you're going to do with 9 stories. So you've finished reading 9 stories. You've hopefully taken your essay test. And now it is time for you to analyze 9 stories. So your essay test was just constructing an essay to compare and contrast. Now we're going to jump in and analyze. So what we're looking for is you can analyze a theme that you see in multiple stories. You can follow a character or a type of characterization, like the use of children, or a symbol, okay? Symbolism of like religion or different things like that he talks about. And you're going to analyze what is the author saying about that particular literary element, and how or why are they doing it, okay? So that's the purpose of a literary analysis. So you are required to use 3 texts. You're going to use 9 stories, and then you need to use at least 2 scholarly articles from the LRC library database. So I'm going to go over how you find that, okay? I'm going to provide you with an article, so you're more than welcome to utilize that, or you can just, find your own too. Your paper is 1,000 to 1,250 words. It needs to be in MLA format. It's going to be a formal academic paper, which we're going to talk about, and this is for your analysis grade in the course. So that's like 25% of your grade. And what comprises that 25% is a formal thesis and outline, a rough draft and a peer edit. You will be required to submit your rough draft to NetTutor and get feedback from them, and then a final draft. So that's what's going to make up your grade. Don't freak out yet. It seems like a lot. We're going to chunk everything up, okay? So right now, this week, all we're working on is research, okay? So right underneath the literary analysis assignment, you see the library databases page. So I'm going to open that up. It opens in a new window. These are databases, so you wouldn't search a topic here. You would find a database and then search your topic. So the database that I suggest, if you go scroll down on the right-hand side under Popular Databases and click on NC Live about halfway down. NC Live, it has the most comprehensive collection of articles, so I just go here. That's where the majority of everything is anyway. Now we're going to search for a topic. So let's say that in 9 stories, I want to focus on the theme of lost innocence or innocence, something about what is J.D. Salinger saying about innocence, because that is a motif that you see. That a motif means that it pops up throughout the book. And throughout the different stories. And then that motif will then, because it's popping up, it will turn into a theme. The theme is what the author is saying about that. So I'm going to just type in some keywords, innocence, and I'm going to type in 9 stories and see what comes up. Let me just search 9 stories. So I'm just going to search 9 stories. And I'm going to put J.D. Salinger in there too. see what articles we can find. Okay, so what I typed in order to get the articles to come up is just 9 stories and Salinger. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to click where it says, you want to click on the words scholarly articles. And now we have a couple of articles here, okay? So the first article that we have is a source for Seymour's suicide, Rilke's voices and Salinger's 9 stories. So I'm going to open that up. And the article discusses the importance of poetry in the collection, short story collection 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger, with a particular focus given to the poetic devices, a song for suicide, and it looks at A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. So I might be interested in reading that particular article, so I'm going to open that up. It's 17 pages, and it focuses on Seymour, and it focuses on A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. So if I wanted to talk about what does the child represent in that, the loss of Seymour's innocence or something to that effect, then I would look for things in this article that back that up. I'm going to go back and see what we can find. So number 6 in my search here says neighborliness and rebuilding community after war in J.D. Salinger's war stories. So maybe I want to focus on what J.D. Salinger is saying about the impact of war through his characters. Multiple short stories address that in 9 stories. So you have Perfect Day for Banana Fish does, To Esme with Love and Squalor does, I think Teddy even does a little bit. So you can look into that. This is going to talk some about Holden Caulfield, which you don't need to worry about because we didn't read The Catcher in the Rye. So you're going to kind of read through it and look for things that talk about the book that we read, okay? The idea here being that you're going to cite 2 scholarly articles to back up your analysis. The majority of your analysis is going to be from the book, okay? So you are going to make a thesis statement that claims that Salinger is saying something about the world through a literary element, okay? And that's what we're going to do with our thesis. So underneath, so you'll need to research and try to find articles, 2 scholarly articles. And then right underneath the library databases page and the research picture, we have common literary elements. So you may focus on characterization. How does he characterize his soldiers that come back from war in the book? And why does he do that? Or is there something that he does with the plot, with plot twists, or something to that effect? That might not be best. Style is the way that he writes his stories, and then of course theme. These are central ideas within the work. So themes for 9 stories you would look at would be things like impact of religion, impact of war, the loss of innocence, the importance of children. Okay, those are things that Salinger writes about. What does he say about those things? I'm trying to go back to the page here. Okay, so those are your literary elements, and then you have a page that talks to you about exactly how to write a literary analysis of a short story. Okay, so it tells you that make sure that you are making a claim. So a rough thesis statement, and that's what you're working on after you find an article to use for your paper. But a rough thesis statement essentially just introduces what you're analyzing, okay? And so there's a resource in here that I provide to you, and it is, see if I can find it. It's a PDF, and it says how to write a good thesis statement. And that resource breaks up sections for your thesis statement, okay? So you're gonna find a topic, and then the first box that you're gonna use will be topic. The second box that you're gonna use will be the analysis, what you're analyzing. And then the third box would be answer the question of how or why does the author do this? If you go to writing a thesis and outline in that page, this kind of talks about the importance of your thesis. So your thesis should identify the author, the stories that you are analyzing, and what you are analyzing, and how or why this happened. So I give you an example, okay? In Teddy and A Perfect Day for Banana Fish, J.D. Salinger explores the theme of, and then you choose a theme. So that might be the impact of war, the loss of innocence, search of religion, those types of things, especially in Teddy. And then the main characters illustrate this theme by doing this. And then that's what you write your paper about. Okay, so your outline will match your thesis, which I'll talk about next week. I know this is probably a lot for you guys, but it's time to get to writing. Okay, so what I want you to do for this week is I just want you to look for scholarly articles to use for your paper. So if you go back up and click on the library databases page one more time, or actually, I'm sorry, hopefully you still stayed in like I did. So I'm going back to my choice of Some Quick, However Slight, Therapy, Neighborliness, and Building Community After War in J.D. Salinger's War Stories, okay? Here, that's my title. Right next to my title, you'll see green buttons. Download the PDF, which I highly suggest you do. Save it to your computer so that you can go back and forth to it. And then you have a Cite button. So you're gonna click on that Cite button, and you'll see that it says Citation Style, APA. We don't use APA, we use MLA. So you wanna change your citation style to MLA 8th edition. This is what I want you to submit to me in your works cited assignment, okay? I just want you to copy this citation and paste it into Moodle, okay, to show me the full citation for the 2 articles that you're gonna use. And that's your first assignment that's due this week. Your second assignment that's due this week is your journal. Again, this is your attendance assignment. So I want you just to kind of think about what you did when you were in high school English classes, and I want you to understand where you should be now in a college English class and how things are going to progress. So read through the information, what skills you should have, and read through what we're going to further develop for your skills, and then I want you to answer the questions below. Okay, so write 200 to 300 words answering the questions below. How prepared are you for the course based on the expectations? Why do you think that you need to further your skills? Why do you need to be in this class? And why is high school English not enough for you to move on? Okay, so that's your journal. I want you to start thinking about a thesis statement. I want you to start drafting a thesis statement. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about taking a thesis and turning it into an outline. Okay, so again, not to stress out about writing this week. The only thing you're focusing on is picking a topic or something that you want to analyze from 9 stories and finding articles that back that up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email and I will help you as best I can. Have a great week.